And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he him. And God blessed them and said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. I am God's last creation, and I am God's most powerful creation, because when God created me, he created me last and made sure when he created me, he was going to make me the most comfortable creation amongst all his creations. And he gave me this power and dominion over everything he created before me. God wanted to make gods on earth to take care of his creation. My recreational power is not at the same level as God, but it's a power that he bestowed upon me, and a power that I can use to make this world a better place. And I wonder how we lost all the godlike power and all the authority he gave us. Somehow we do not, as human beings, we no longer hold the same power or authority as it was at the beginning of the creation, or some years back, like what our grandparents or our great-great-grandparents had. Not supposed to be in suffering, because God clearly gave us everything. We knew how to use our power as gods on this earth as he intended us to use them. We would be better people, because God is not going to judge us in heaven according to the things we are going to do in heaven. The reason God put us on this earth is to take care of his creation, and this is how he's going to judge us in heaven. How we treat our fellow gods, our fellow beings, how we treat the animals, the plants, everything, God's creation around us, is the way God is going to judge us in heaven. If anyone thinks that this earthly life does not matter and the goal is heaven, like, you must be able to take care of these things on earth. The first instruction out of all his creation on what they shall be eating was given to us. And God said, behold, I have given you every herb-bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. After I had Yakia Awaken referred to this verse, I was so shocked. I didn't know that God gave us instructions on what to eat, on how to eat. I've never had this in church. The preachers don't emphasize these things in church. God clearly gives us instructions to be eating the herbs which have seeds, and every tree bearing fruit, in which is the seed of a tree, or of a fruit, or of a tree bearing fruit. When did we decide that we are going to change the meaning of meat from being fruit to animal flesh? The sin of wrongful eating has been one of the greatest distractions to mankind. When you look back at the story of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, what made them to be expelled out of the Garden of Eden? Eating the sin of wrongful eating. We act like the Bible is full of parables and proverbs, and everything needs to be interpreted, and every word has a deeper meaning. But no, if God really wanted to give us a book that he needed to constantly be interpreted, like he would have given us angels to interpret these books. They would be right here telling us like, no, 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 no. The fruit they met in the Garden of Eden wasn't actually a fruit, because that's what most of you believe. It wasn't actually a fruit. It was something else. It's supposed to be sexual sin. It's supposed to be some other thing, right? No, wrong. Wrong. The sin of wrongful eating is one of the sins that departed us from God. And it's one of the sins that has taken away the power of God in us. It is the sin that has stripped us of the salvation we are supposed to have. Adam and Eve were supposed to live in that garden for eternity. They were not supposed to die. And as soon as they ate that fruit, as soon as they ate that tree in the middle of the garden, they lost a lot of power and authority. They lost a lot of connection with God. And they had to basically leave paradise. They had to leave Eden and move away from there. God chased them out of Eden. And you and I are not different. We have constantly continued to lose our connection with God, our salvation, like salvation, the word salvation, like the way they use it right now. Everyone is expecting Jesus Christ to come and save them and show and give them miracles and show them. Like, you're eating your way to sickness. You've strayed away from the instructions of how God intended you to be feeding. And you want Jesus Christ to save you. Like, how? Guys, how? You know, when Jesus fasted for 40 days and he wanted to break his fast, what did he go to? A tree. He wanted the fruit. And you and I fast at the end of the day. When we break our fast, what is the first thing we yearn for? We go for meats. We go for processed foods. We go for sugar. I've been a very good meat lover. I've been a person that really believes that we are supposed to eat meat, and meat is not the problem. But as I continue to search why and what causes meat to be a problem in our body, and how we are supposed to feed our body for better, basically we are eating to die. Most of, like, mankind right now, most people are eating to die, and the people who get it kind of get it, and they are not living this life anymore. This life we are leading, you and I are leading, the people who get it are not leading it anymore. I'm sweating. I'm sweating. It's so hot inside here, but I can't also go and record from outside because it's so hot. It's shining outside. So guys, I need you to tell me, write in the comments, at what point in the Bible did meat, animal flesh, become meat instead of fruit being our meat? Because fruit is a building meat. Fruit is supposed to build our body. It adds nutrients into our body. Herbs are meant for cleansing and detoxifying the body and healing the body. Fruit is to add nutrients and replenish our body and heal us too. But when did we shift from meat being fruit to animal flesh? At what point in the Bible? Like, I need to understand this. Someone please write this in the comment. At what point in the Bible did we reach this? And to every beast on the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat. And it was so. Even the animals are not supposed to be on a meat diet. I don't know when lions became carnivores in the process of evolution or in the process of life. Otherwise, even the animals, the beasts on the earth are basically supposed to be, their meat is every green thing. Their meat is the herbs. I don't know when in the part of the evolution they developed the canines and the teeth necessary to tear meat, and all the other things they developed to tear meat and eat it and so on. As humans, we developed spears, knives and everything to cut the meat and eat it and prepare it and cook it. They are still eating it fresh. But it's hard how we have strayed from God's instruction and expect Jesus' miracles to save us. It's clear that they no longer work anyway. The day I was diagnosed with PKD, I was like, God should come through and heal me. God should come through and heal me. And he said, no, I'm not going to heal you. I'm going to give you the right people to educate you, to go back to how you're supposed to be feeding, and you will heal. And guys, I'm going to try this way. And in the next video, we're going to explore how it's working for me and what's happening. I'm prepping my body for a major detox in my life to heal myself of PKD and every other diseases and everything in my body. And this brought me to the Bible. Faith has changed, or faith is a Christianity, or faith in God is supposed to be learning these things and knowing the Bible and how to use the Bible to heal yourself, how to use God's instructions for the better of our own lives on earth. But it's not the same anymore. It's not the same. It's about going to church and singing and praising and being seen, and then coming out and doing nothing and not living that life until the next Sunday and going back and singing and praising. Food greed and wrongful eating is a major cause of our departure from God and the loss of our power and authority in being godlike, in exercising our authority as gods. Is the major cause of premature deaths, diseases in our body. Like, most of us are living with diseases. Recently, I lost another relative to cancer. And in 2022, I lost my uncle to cancer. My uncle and my grandmom died within 24 hours. And you would think, knowing the things I know right now, and someone who watches Yaki Awakens channel, I would be able to help the other relative I lost recently. Like, I wasn't able to help. It was already too late. Most people are not willing to try to go back to this kind of lifestyle, to go back to God's instruction on how we are supposed to feed and eat. Even our traditions support this kind of food greed and animal, this kind of wrongful eating and food greed. Because in 2022, after the burial of my grandmom and my uncle, usually after burial, there's an evaluation to check how everything went during the day of the burial. So during the evaluation, months prior, I had put a relative of mine in prison because of she had misused my money. She was working for me, and she decided, since I wasn't going to physically supervise her, she decided to misuse my money. So long story short, I put her behind bars, and we had an agreement. She was supposed to pay me back money. She was supposed to pay back my money, yeah. So she ended up sleeping in jail for 3 days, and then she was released. There's what we call Aruba in where I come from. Basically, it's a prison code. Once you put someone who is a relative in prison, there's that code that connects, that brings bad luck in the families. So I'd been hearing people say, yes, I used to believe in this whole code, like this prison code, this Aruba. I used to believe in this thing, and basically people were saying, that code was following us, and it was going to bring us a lot of bad luck. So to correct that, traditionally, to correct that, you would have to, the person you put in prison and you are supposed to each, that's what they say, that we were supposed to bring each one goat, and it was supposed to be slaughtered and eaten by the tribesmen and women and children to clear off the curse. But then I spoke to some people about the whole thing. I did not understand how someone can do wrong to someone, and like that relative of mine wronged me and misused my money. So why was I supposed to also bring a goat if she's the one who did the wrong? Isn't she supposed to be the one to bring the goat to clear off the code, because she's the one who did wrong? But because culturally we still have greed, food greed and wrongful eating, like this greed alone is a major cause of a lot of fights in African cultures and traditions and tribes and so on. It's a cause of a lot of curses and generational curses and so on. So basically, when they told me I was supposed to give that goat to, I always knew it, but it always didn't settle well with me that the person who was wronged was also supposed to give something to clear. So basically, during that evaluation meeting, the relatives of the lady I put behind bars, like these are two big families of the same clan, they basically said, we have to clear this thing off, we both have to bring a goat, blah, 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 blah. So I ended up finding out that that prison code didn't necessarily need to be cleared by slaughtering goats. That was clans, people being greedy and wanting to eat meat. It could be cleared by only sharing a cup of water, or even just something simple. I would have to take a bite, and the other person I put in prison would have to take a bite, and that was all. Like the whole clan didn't have to eat the I'm telling you. So basically, I'm just explaining to you how God has been trying to protect me from the greed of wrongful eating, from the greed of food and wrongful eating. So at the end of it all, we didn't end up doing the whole code thing, because the chairperson who came to resolve that issue said there was no need to clear the code because the lady basically did me wrong, and she didn't end up coming for the meeting too. It was her relative versus me, and like my own relatives told me not to go for that meeting. I was like, no, I'm still going to go and tell them what I can tell them, because like most of her people, even when they were in her defense, they did not know the full story. They never had the full story, because they had her side of the story and imagined the things they imagined. They came up with this conclusion, but most of them didn't know my side of the story. That lady, even before I put her behind bars, she spent like 2-3 nights at our home, and my mother didn't even know something like that was going on. But it's sad to know that when I put her behind bars, the blame went to my mom, my aunts, my uncle. Like everyone was calling them and accusing them of making me do this. But as an introverted person, we can be the most dangerous people around, or we can be the most swift acting people around, because as an introvert, you have played these scenarios in your head over and over again. Like you've put yourself in that person's shoes, you've put yourself in your own shoe, like you've looked at this whole scenario from all angles. And that's exactly what I did. I took my time to put this lady behind bars. It took me almost 2 weeks to put her behind bars, and I was in constant communication with her, finding out what she did and also finding out from other people what really happened. how that money got lost. I ended up finding out that money really never got lost, and she used it. She claimed she gave it to a lady who never returned it, but I ended up finding out she used it for something else. And I tried suggesting her all these things. As an introvert, we play these scenarios over and over in our head. And by the time I acted to take her to prison, to jail, to have her arrested, like, I had seen it from all angles, and I knew the reactions that would come from this whole scenario. So at the end of it all, like, the whole God slaughtering thing was not done, and actually basically nothing was done. There was no prison code that was cleared, because they came to a conclusion that the lady really did me wrong, and there was no prison code to clear. So Dalane Muzungwa, yeah. When I talk about food greed and wrongful eating, like, most people in the clan just wanted to eat meat, and they felt like throwing that code thing around and scaring me and her about the whole thing would make it easier. Like, it took me months to understand really why I was going to pay this thing. It didn't make sense to me that I had to pay this goat. And I'm glad I took my time to even buy a goat and give it to them. This has been God's protection on me all this time, and thank you, Lord. Thank you for protecting me from all these things. And God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the sixth day. Thus the heavens and the earth were completed in all their vast array. By the seventh day, God had finished the work he had been doing. So on the seventh day, he rested from all his work. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it he rested from all the work of creating that he had done. So I feel like most times we don't talk about the seventh day, and we have actually changed the seventh day from being a Saturday to being a Sunday. And from around COVID, I started to take my faith personal. I started to take my faith personal to myself, because I did not believe that faith is supposed to be equal and it's supposed to be expressed only in church. And one time I asked someone, and I was like, there is no confirmation that God really changed or was fine with people changing Sabbath from Saturday to Sunday. And he was like, the only reason he would give me was because of the resurrection of Jesus Christ. It was after the resurrection of Jesus Christ on Sunday that Sabbath was changed from being a Saturday to a Sunday. Because in Matthew chapter 28, it says, after the Sabbath, at dawn on the first day of the week. What day comes after Sabbath, and what day on your calendars is the first day of the week? It's a Sunday. So there's no account of God agreeing that Sabbath should really change from Saturday to Sunday. And most people defend this, saying every day is a day for praising and worshiping God and thanksgiving to God. Yes, but the intention of Sabbath in the Bible is to have a rest from work. Is to have a rest from work. And from COVID, around 2021, I started to take Sabbath seriously, and I rest on Saturdays. The only thing I find I do on Saturdays that I think is work is content creation. Like today is Saturday when I'm recording this video. Like this is the only free time I have to record videos. This is the only work I have done. So I take my Sabbath very seriously. And when you go to Genesis and read from Genesis, there is nothing God says about praising him on Sabbath. God said by the seventh day God had finished the work he had been doing. So on the seventh day, he rested from all his work. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it he rested from all the work of creating that he had done. Sabbath is supposed to be a day of resting. Yes, all the other days are supposed to be days of praising and worshiping God, but God specifically made a day for you and I and all mankind to rest from our work. And it is sad that we have moved this day from Saturday to Sunday as mankind. If I'm going to go true to myself and build faith, my faith in God cannot be the same faith as everyone else's, and I want to build my faith according to the Bible. I don't want to have a general mass faith, like the kind of faith we have right now, like believing and not questioning and not confirming. I want to build a personal relationship with God. And for that reason, I've decided to take Sabbath seriously. I would have decided to become a Seventh-day Adventist to go on with this practice, but it's not about the religion, it's about the truth. And the more that we are going to jump from one religion to another. Do I go to church on Sundays? Yes, sometimes I do. I do it out of pure pleasure and out of just enjoying church services. Yes, I still go to church on Sundays. But what day do I observe as Sabbath? It's a Saturday. It has completely changed for me. Even still being an Anglican, I consider myself still an Anglican, but I observe this Saturday Sabbath. That's why I don't think it's necessary to jump from religion to religion. Faith is a personal thing. It's between you and God knows why you do these things. But religion is not even in heaven. So we are doing these communal things to fit in. But once you realize that idea does not go well with yours, it's okay to adjust. Does not go well with the Bible, it's okay to adjust. It's okay to pull out. It's okay to be different. It is between you and God, not between you and everyone that is seeing you. I've gotten judgment for closing my shop on Saturdays. People have said so many things to me. People ask me why I still go to the Anglican church. Because I do not want to jump from one faith to another, one religion to another, just because I want to practice the Bible. Yes, that's right. So Sabbath for me has been a great deal for me. And ever since I read Genesis chapter 29, my life has not been the same. And my life will never be the same. And in my next video, I'm going to give you an account and show you how I've been improving my life and changing things in my life to help me heal before I actually go on this detox using herbs. And my diet basically has been a vegetable and fruit diet. So I've been practicing the things I read, the things I hear. I'm a heavy watcher of the Yaki Awaken channel. I encourage you to all go and watch his videos because he has scientific backing up. He relates these things to the Bible. Like, I've never found someone whose ideologies interest me so much, and he has a lot of backup. Most people, when they tell you about herbs healing you, they don't give you complex details, and this guy has complex information and detail and makes it simple and accessible to a common man like you and me. So I encourage you to go and watch his videos and find healing for yourself, because I'm going to find healing. I'm going to use his knowledge and all the things he has been teaching to heal myself. And hopefully he'll find my videos and help me on the way, right? Yeah, so guys, let us go back to God's ways. Let us go back to how things were intended to be. Meat is not, animal flesh is not supposed to be meat. Our meat is supposed to be fruits. How long shall my recovery be? I don't know, because right now I don't have access to the herbs I need to heal myself. We are going to discuss more about these things in the next video. See you then. Thank you for watching. And remember to like and subscribe. I'm always very bad at that. I don't know why.